How's it going, guys? Today I want to speak about the subject of terraforming Mars. Now, we all know that we have to leave planet Earth eventually, right? Because, in billions of years from now, the sun is going to expand into a red giant and it's going to consume and pretty much just eat kind of eat the Earth, because it's going to grow really large and it's going to eat Mercury, Venus, and it's also going to be really hot, and the Earth is going to be affected greatly. So we know we're going to have to leave the Earth, and as of right now, scientists are planning to send astronauts on a one-way trip to Mars to see how it's like, to see pretty much just to finally reach the red planet and start colonizing it. The problem is that none of the humans that are going to go over there are going to be able to return. So they're going to have to go over there to basically to live the rest of their life. But in the future, is there going to be a way to make Mars habitable, just like Earth, right? So having an atmosphere, having liquid water, and temperature ideal for life to form. There's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of ways that people have been thinking about doing it. There is ice on Mars, there's frozen water, there's ice. And they have been thinking, scientists have been thinking of heating the atmosphere using factories, kind of like how we're creating global warming here on Earth. But to do that over there, that there's very little atmosphere, very little carbon dioxide, which is what creates the greenhouse effect of the atmosphere, the carbon dioxide. So if they can create a lot of carbon dioxide on Mars, it will heat up the cold planet, melt the water, and it will be an ideal habitable for life. It will be terraformed, and then we just plant trees over there, and eventually the oxygen would get into the atmosphere as well, because trees breathe the carbon dioxide, so they would thrive. And then eventually, after there's plenty of trees, there will be plenty of carbon dioxide. And it's a very long, arduous process, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. Nothing is impossible that we can imagine. That I know as a fact. So that's the first, to create like a kind of a global warming setting where the planet will warm up pretty much and create an atmosphere, because it has a really thin atmosphere. Very, very thin atmosphere. We can't breathe in that atmosphere. It has very little to no oxygen. But if we can create the greenhouse effect by introducing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, then we're killing multiple birds with one stone. We could plant trees, warm up the planet, we could melt the water, and then it would just be incredible. That's the first plan, right? The second plan is to use nuclear weapons to melt the water and heat up the atmosphere. However, the problem with that is then the water would be radioactive water after that. So those are setbacks from utilizing that method of heating. But that's one of the ideas that they've been trying to think about. And pretty much what I wanted to talk about is, in the next couple thousand years, we're going to have human beings on Mars. We're going to have human beings traveling further than Mars, traveling to other planets. We're going to have human beings more spread out throughout the galaxy. And it's incredible to me to think about how quickly we're spreading out into the universe. We started off in Africa, a little tribe of humans, and now we're all over the world. We've completely took over the world, and now we have our sights set on something much larger, which is the entire solar system. And then it's just going to keep on growing. After that, it's going to be the entire galaxy. And after that, we're going to look at different galaxies. And human beings, the great thing about us is that we're very intelligent. So we have the resources necessary to be able to take control of the universe. And that's just fascinating. Imagine being able to take trips to Mars and back as if it was a vacation on Mars, and come back to Earth. You know, in the really far future, right? That would just be incredible. That would be amazing, magnificent. And it's just great to think about all the crazy technological advancements. But pretty much that's all I wanted to speak about. They're planning to make Mars like a base. They've been thinking about making first a moon base to see if they can survive, if astronauts can survive in space for long periods of time, long enough to be able to live on Mars for years. But maybe they won't have to make a moon base. Maybe they'll first send people to Mars and then make a moon base after. They won't need the kind of like a model base to simulate how it'll be on Mars. Maybe they won't need that. Or maybe they will, just to kind of be sure of what they're doing and not to mess up really badly. You know, a fatal mistake can cost a lot. It can cost lives. It can cost billions of dollars. It's very expensive. But it's great to think about, and just recognizing that humans are spreading out throughout the universe. And before we know it, we're going to be all over this universe. We're going to be everywhere. We're going to take control. Anyway, guys, I would love for you guys to buy my book if you're interested. It's The Future of Your Life by Manuel Espin on Amazon.com. You can buy it on Kindle or the paperback version. And in there, I included a lot of deep knowledge that will really transcend consciousness and pierce the illusion of life and the future. Pretty much, it's some very extensive, it's a very short book, but it has a lot of teachings. I made it very dense in knowledge, and I'm sure you guys can appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. You guys are incredible. Just the fact of being able to make videos for YouTube makes me feel incredible. And being able to spread my knowledge to all of you, there's no better feeling in the world. And I want to keep spreading this knowledge. I want to keep speaking my truth and moving the planet forward into the future. The future is right there. We're moving into it slowly but surely. We're moving slowly towards the future. And that's just incredible. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day, guys.